511 is multiplying polynomials. So we've kind of done binomials, so we've only multiplied things that have two pieces. Now what happens when we have to multiply more than just two together? So our objective here is going to be to multiply any two polynomials, and we're going to go through lots of them and lots of examples. Starting with our first ones. So right here I have a binomial with a trinomial. So we're going to multiply this together, similar to foiling, but what I'm going to do here is multiply this x squared to each of the pieces in the other parentheses. So I write x squared times x squared plus x squared times 2x plus x squared times negative 3. So I just multiplied that x squared to each of the pieces in the trinomial. Now I'm going to do it again to the 4. I'm going to multiply that 4 to each of the pieces in the trinomial. So it's going to be an addition. I'm going to drop this down below. 4 times x squared plus 4 times 2x plus 4 times negative 3. Now all I have to do is simplify. So x squared and x squared will make x to the 4th plus 2x cubed minus 3x squared plus 4x squared plus 8x minus 12. Now I'm just going to combine any of my like terms, and I know this is a lot of steps, but this is the best way and easiest way that we can combine our polynomials. And we have our final answer right there. Alright, so let's do this one again. So same steps as before. Now I'm going to take this a and multiply it to each of the pieces of my trinomial. Now I'm going to do this one down below so everything can stay on one line. So I have a times 4a squared plus a times negative 2ab plus a times 3b squared plus, so now I'm going to go to the 2b and multiply it to each of the pieces of the trinomial. So 2b times 4a squared plus 2b times negative 2ab plus 2b times 3b squared. Now I multiply everything out. So we end up with 4a cubed plus, actually it's a minus now, minus 2a squared b plus 3ab squared plus 8 a squared b plus, that's a negative, minus 4ab squared plus 6b cubed. And I can even combine some like terms here. I have negative 2a squared b and I have 8a squared b, so we have 4a cubed plus 6a squared b, and then I can combine these two pieces right here. I have a minus ab squared plus 6b cubed. A lot of work again, but if you work through it diligently and slowly, and that's not working because it's cutting through, you'll get all of your pieces put into the right order. Alright, so To multiply two polynomials, multiply each term of one polynomial by every term in the other, and then add the results. So that's what we've been doing. Now we're going to look at it at a little bit more of a scale, a bigger scale here, especially when we have two trinomials. Two trinomials, it's going to get a lot more work. And that's why this video is going to be a little bit longer, just because we're doing a lot more work that we're going to have to add together. So in this case, I'm going to go back to my other color. I take the 2c squared and multiply it to each of the pieces in the other trinomial. So I get 2c squared times 2c squared plus 2c squared times negative c plus 2c squared times 3. Now I'm going to go to the 3c, and again I'm going to multiply each of the pieces in the polynomial. So plus 3c times 2c squared plus 3c times negative c plus 3c times 3. And now I've got to go to that negative 4 and multiply that all the way through. So plus negative 4 2c squared plus negative 4 negative c plus negative 4 times 3. So now I'll go through and I'm going to simplify each of my pieces, and I get 4c to the 4th minus 2c cubed plus 6c squared plus 6c cubed minus 3c squared plus 9c minus 8c squared plus 4c minus 12, and any of my like terms, so I have just 4c to the 4th. I have negative 2 plus 6 makes 4, so plus 4c cubed. Then I have 6, and that makes 3. And then we end up with negative 5c squared, and here, plus 13c minus 12. That will be my final answer. And I know I'm doing this kind of quickly, but just work on combining all of your terms, and that's really where it comes into play, is knowing how to combine all your like terms. So I have a few more practice problems, actually quite a few practice problems, that I'm going to kind of pause the video and put in the answers for you guys. So give me 1 second. Alright, so I plopped in the answers here, and then this first one, remember this is the sum of differences, so the square of the first minus the square of the second. This one, we're just foiling it out, first inside, outside, last. This one, remember I could write this down here as x plus 7 squared is the same. And so it's the first plus 2 times a times b plus the square of the last. And so that would be 14x plus 49, because that's 2 times 7. Alright, so these few here, in this first one we just distribute, and we end up with 18y cubed x squared plus 2y cubed x minus 14y cubed. Remember this one, we want to square this, so we get 3x squared minus 7x times 3x squared minus 7x, and it's the square of the first, so that's 9x to the 4th minus 2 times 3x squared times 7x plus the square of the last, so 7x squared. So our final answer, 9x to the 4th minus 42 x cubed plus 49x squared. And the last one here we're doing just very similar. 3x plus 1/4 squared times 3x plus 1/4 squared. So again, it's the first. So 3x, so it'd be 3x squared plus, we're going to use that same sign, 2 times 3x times 1/4 plus 1/4 squared. So this becomes 9x squared, and that's 6 times a fourth, so I'm just going to do plus 6/4 x. And when I go to square a fraction, I square the top and square the bottom. So plus 1/16. So our last one here, then we're going to distribute, and I'm actually going to do this backwards. I'm going to distribute this in this direction. So I get 2x times x squared plus 2x times negative 3x plus 2x times 2 plus negative 4 times x squared plus negative 4 times negative 3x plus negative 4 times 2. I FOIL everything and multiply it, and I get 2x cubed plus, actually it's a minus now, minus 6x squared plus 4x minus 4x squared plus 12x minus 8. Combine any of my like terms. 2x cubed minus 10 x squared plus 16x minus 8. And we are all done. So that's kind of a review of everything that we've covered. Here are a few problems, and these problems also review just about everything we covered. I don't have any fractions in here, but I have more fractions that we're going to work on furthermore. All right.